Hours after a devastating December tornado tore through Kentucky, causing more than 200 miles of destruction, Senator Rand Paul was asking President Joe Biden for aid from the federal government. Because the Kentucky senator, who hails from the first family of American libertarians, has a long record of opposing federal aid for disaster victims, except, apparently, when it impacts his constituents. Suddenly, all those reflexive attacks on socialist big government spending don't seem to apply. But now that Kentuckians are in dire need, Rand Paul's singing a different tune. Gone are the demands for delay and requests for funds elsewhere. Now he wants the Fed's filthy lucre as fast as possible. Because it always seems to be socialism for me, but not for thee.
It's a whole lot of hypocrisy.
Socialism seems to breed thuggery.
In the aftermath of the devastating Kentucky tornado, Kentucky Senator and staunch libertarian Rand Paul wrote this letter to President Joe Biden. Last night and early this morning, devastating storms swept across multiple states, including Kentucky. As the sun comes up this morning, we will begin to understand the true scope of the devastation, but we already know of loss of life and severe property damage. The governor has requested federal assistance, and further requests will be coming as the situation is assessed. I fully support those requests and ask that you move expeditiously to approve the appropriate resources for our state. But wait. This you? It is never government handouts, but free markets and the individual creativity of the private sector that ultimately helps the poor. We always do better when we trade with foreign countries than simply being their welfare provider. He then quoted U2 frontman Bono, calling capitalism and entrepreneurialism important in philanthropy.
But after Superstorm Sandy, it was a different story. Rand Paul strenuously opposed relief, getting in a spat with then New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and accusing aid advocates in the Northeast of being greedy. A few years later, Rand Paul opposed aid for the victims of Hurricanes Maria, Irma, and Harvey that hit Puerto Rico and the Gulf Coast.
People here will say they have great compassion and they want to help the people of Puerto Rico and the people of Texas and the people of Florida. But notice they have great compassion with someone else's money.
And more recently, he was the lone senator to vote no on the first coronavirus aid package in the Senate. His reasoning? Quote, "This isn't the first time we've had emergency money. This is probably the 10th time we've done emergency money in the past 2 or 3 years. So everything is an emergency," end quote. Well, this isn't the first time Kentucky has received a quote-unquote handout from FEMA. In fact, according to the Center for Public Integrity, Kentucky was, at one point, the nation's largest recipient of FEMA funding. Here's the thing. Not only does Senator Paul have every right to request government aid, he is rightfully doing so. But let's not forget who he and the rest of his party really are.
They create a culture of poverty and a culture of violence which is destructive of this civilization.
Welfare has proliferated and grown into a leviathan of unsupportable dimensions.
Let's talk about what the welfare state has created. Let's talk about the moral decay.
Don't feed the alligators.
Meanwhile,
A Rockefeller Institute study found that Kentucky got billions more in federal aid than it sent from 2015 to 2018, far more than those blue states in the Northeast who needed help after Sandy.
Welfare has become especially unpopular in red states that vote Republican and support Trump. But these same states are often the biggest beneficiaries of government assistance. Residents of blue states send more tax money to Washington than they get back in federal help, while residents of red states send less money to Washington than they get back in federal help.
But notice they have great compassion with someone else's money.
yet another example of politicians saying one thing but doing the other, all to save their own ass. Thanks for watching.